banished the ghosts from Sunday ever so slightly. I know I didn't do a post-match reaction, but yes, West Ham won 1-0 against Manchester United this evening at Old Trafford. The team news came out, and I felt that it was very much going to be a back five. That proved to be wrong. It was 4-2-3-1 in the end. I thought it was brave from Moyes, and I think with a heavily rotated side, again, I know Manchester United rotated heavily, but they still had quality in there. I was unsure in terms of how West Ham would perform. Normally, when we've gone away to these sides, we've been compact in a low block. We've tried to transition effectively. I think when you look at the side, I think Jarrod Bowen for me would have been the outlier, and he obviously was tonight in that false nine role, playing in beyond, on the shoulder, stretching things. I thought he was, again, fantastic, and I think he does tend to improve game on game at the minute. And I thought it was really going to be our only outlet, but from the first 10 minutes, West Ham really impressed me. We pressed Manchester United very high out of possession, create turnovers further up the pitch, and try and isolate Manchester United's defence that at times, and in particular with that back four that was so much changed from the last game, there was a real opportunity for West Ham to overload. We had a number of chances, 2 or 3 before the goal. And so it really didn't feel any different for me for Manuel Lanzini to go and put that away. I thought Fredericks was really fantastic in the goal again, taking on his man, getting inside him, using his pace. And we were performing the way that we perform in the Premier League in that system, which is something that I really didn't expect. Now, the only caveat to that, of course, is that Manchester United are fantastic ball carriers, Jadon Sancho, Jesse Lingard, that we know. And I knew that they were going to dominate possession for the majority of the game. I think a lot of people anticipated that. But I think West Ham got it spot on in that regard defensively. We stepped back. We almost allowed them, for me, at times to have the midfield. And we'll talk a little bit about later in the game and when we probably could have won it 2-0. But certainly in that first half, I thought West Ham stepped off them, kept the shape compact. I thought Crowell and Noble in particular sat in front of that defence. And we saw Yarmolenko playing on that right-hand side, trying to give Fredericks and Soufal a little bit of protection. So I knew what we were getting into. We knew Manchester United have the vast majority of the ball, but they really didn't threaten too much. Everything that they were doing was from distance. And the only chance they really had that you could argue was a quality chance was when Martial managed to run into the box on the left-hand side, but Dawson's cut it out. And on that point, the two centre-backs tonight, in particular Issa Diop, were fantastic positionally. I think, to be fair to West Ham, in terms of shape, out of possession, I thought we were absolutely spot on. But those two, I think Manchester United didn't create enough quality chances if they were going to force issue on West Ham. But having said that, in terms of dealing with deliveries into the box, and particularly in the second half, the amount of times that we read the deliveries, the amount of times we stepped out and made the correct block, very rarely did West Ham get pulled out of position. We were very compact. Manchester United didn't get beyond us a fair amount of times, and that is due to the fact that the back four was so resolute in stepping back and not allowing them to have space, and that was absolutely crucial. And I think we were just really well versed in terms of what we wanted to do. Now, Yarmolenko. Let's talk about Yarmo. Now, I thought Yarmolenko was better tonight. He had a chance that he should have scored ultimately towards the end. I think what I was impressed to see, at least in an attacking sense, was being more decisive in terms of laying the pass off, but being trying to take on players. Yes, he lost it. Yes, that is the risk that you'll take. I thought West Ham were very risky even towards the latter stages of the game, getting the fullbacks further forward and trying to pin Manchester United back, which shows you how far West Ham have really come in terms of managing those big games. But what I will say defensively, I think Yarmolenko showed a little bit of an improvement. Is it as good as what we see from Jarrod Bowen on the right? Absolutely not. I think Bowen is a fantastic, a well-rounded player from that perspective. But Yarmolenko, I think he understood his role a lot more tonight. I think he gave a lot more protection. I thought he tracked back at times. He cut out deliveries into the box. And these seem like minor details, but when you're against Manchester United with the quality that they have, albeit less so than on Sunday, they were going to get chances in the box. They were going to create. They were going to carry a ball into the area. So he had to be resolute. And to be fair to Yarmolenko, he did play his defensive position correctly. Now, we should have won that game by more, if I'm honest. And second half, in particular, when Fornals come on, I thought Fornals was exceptional, if I'm honest. I really did in terms of pressing, positioning. I thought Vlasic, in terms of his hold-up play, West Ham working well in the transitions with those two. I think in terms of a sub and when to make it, that was definitely the right time. Yarma should have scored, goes without saying, but again, encouraging to see him at least getting into the box and overloading. So he understanding his role is important in transitions as well. And obviously, Mark Noble should have really tucked it away, and we know how frustrating that is. But a really good performance defensively. I thought Crowell was outstanding tonight at times as well, less so than Diop, but positionally, I thought in terms of being alongside Mark Noble, breaking up play, he started introducing these long-range passing into it. Is he the most mobile? Is that double pivot the most mobile. Of course it isn't, but I just felt that Krau in particular, in terms of reading the game, cutting things out, and yes, United were poor in terms of their passing and things like that. But it was good to see from Krau in terms of, I think we looked at him in terms of that passing. Is he effective enough? Is he accurate enough? But defensively, I think he's got some real key qualities. And in an offensive sense, he was making and he was overloading in their box and creating chances for West Ham when we had the opportunity to, which is very far and few between, probably in that middle section of the game. But a lot of good notes to take out of the game tonight. I think we defended well, as I've said already. And I think as well, playing some of these players and seeing what they're going to be like in the system is important, and giving them a run out as well, in terms of match fitness when we can use them. So a real positive performance from West Ham. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Unfortunately, we do go into the next. Well, I say unfortunately, look, I'm happy we got through, but we are playing Manchester City at home. I will, of course, be at that game. I wonder what Moyes will implement. It will be off the back of a Premier League game and a Europa League game the week prior. So we're not too sure in that sense, but I look forward to it nonetheless. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the West Ham Way if you're watching and you're new. I'll be back this week with a preview for Leeds. I'm going to try and get some of the Leeds fans on as well. We'll have a bit of an opposition preview and chew the cud on things. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Come on, you irons. We're in the next round.